I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World, and I'm here with my daughter Patrice, where we do daddy-daughter discussions, where we talk about all the things that fathers and daughters talk about, should be talking about, maybe don't want to talk about, or might talk about one day if they ever decide to do that. How you doing today, Patrice?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well, really well. Now, you and I were talking about this video because you like to blog, and one of the places you blog sometimes is a place called idatedaily.com, which is kind of a 20 something ish, 30 something ish dating website. And you put up this video that really was interesting to me, and it was called Three Reasons Why Women Forgive Men Who Cheat, or something like that.
Hmm.
Did you watch the video when you put it
Yeah.
up? What did it say? What was this guy's? I watched some of it too. Tell people what you saw in the video. Give me your
I don't
interpretation, then I'll give you
remember
mine.
all the reasons, but I know one of them he was saying because the sex is good and you don't want to think about your partner giving that away to someone else. And then he was saying you don't want to be lonely and trying to find someone else. And I think low self esteem was another reason.
Yeah, I think I remember low self esteem, but I also remember what else did he say? I think he said that you're not serious. Like you'll say that you let him go, but you're invested in him. And
Hmm.
because you're invested in him and you're emotionally attached to him, you're gonna just stick it out most likely. Even though that's not true, a lot of women don't. And that you will be out here, or that you don't want to be out here dating by yourself, trying to find a new man, trying to like establish trust. What's your favorite color, what size shoe you wear, stuff like that. and then you think you find the perfect man, then you find out he cheated, and then you find another man you think he's perfect, then you find out he cheated, and then you find another man you think he's perfect, and you find out he cheated. And so his theory, which seems to be some people might think is pessimistic, but his theory is that every man cheats, and that there are either two types of men: either the men where you know about their cheating, or men where you don't know about their cheating. But he believes every man cheats. What do you think about that?
I can't speak for every man, but I know most of them do. There's only like a very few that I've ever met that I honestly thought probably never cheated on their wife or their girlfriend.
Hmm.
But I mean, it's very rare.
So before I give my thoughts on it, so what do you think about it? I mean, how does that make you feel? Okay, so you're 25 and you're thinking, I want to meet Mr. Wonderful, maybe have some babies and get married and all that good stuff, and I'll be ready to give you away, when you get married. So how do you process that? Like when you hear stuff like that, how does that make you feel?
Um, I know somebody's gonna have something to say, but that's okay. I just feel like it's just either you deal with it or you don't. Like, I mean, if you want to be by yourself, then, or if I'm sorry, if you never want to get cheated on, then more than likely you're gonna be by yourself. But if you can handle that people make mistakes, then you'll probably have a long lasting relationship. Now, I mean, if this person constantly makes the same mistake over and over and over and it's very consistent, then that's a problem. If y'all have only dated for a year but he's cheated 7 times, that's an issue. But if y'all dated for, or not even, if y'all just been together through dating and marriage for 10 years and he's cheated twice, then I think that that's something that you can get over.
Let me ask you this. Okay, you and I are from Louisville, Kentucky. And have you ever heard of a Kentucky basketball player by the name of Winston Bennett?
No.
Okay, let me tell you a story about Winston Bennett. Winston, that's a funny story. Winston was a basketball star. He played in Male High School, which you know Male High School. And
No. No.
what? hmm
What? It should be on the table.
we got a few thousand people watching this video, right? Why you tell your mama where the phone's at? But anyway, oh, okay. So Winston Bennett played basketball for the University of Kentucky, and Winston was, of course, you're a basketball star, so a lot of the girls like you. He's 6'7", and I guess he was a good-looking guy. And Winston had a sex addiction. Winston went on ESPN and said that he used to have sex with as many as 90 women in a month.
I
Which,
think I remember you telling me about him.
yeah, 90 is a lot. I mean, most people never have sex with, don't have sex with that many people in a whole lifetime. And he was saying that he went through that many women in a month. He said that when he got married, um, he cheated on his honeymoon, and I think I could have sworn he said he gave something about an STD during the honeymoon, right? So, which I don't want to go too deep into that, but you know, it seems to me that there is a difference between the guys that do something they're not, or not even the guys, people, not even because that's another myth. A lot of people act like women don't think about doing stuff and women don't do stuff, but from what I've seen, women, women will do their thing too. So it's not just about men. But it seems like you can separate people into a couple categories, right? People that will make the mistake maybe one time over a 10-year period versus somebody who will do that 10 times in a 1 year period. Right? you know, so do you think that there's a difference, or do you think that maybe we're simplifying it by just saying either you're a cheater or you're not? What do you
I
think?
think there's a difference. I think there's a difference. Um, I think that I think in certain situations, some women expect for it to happen. Like with him being in the NBA and all that stuff, it's kind of expected. If you honestly think that your spouse who's in the NBA or in the NFL or he is a famous rapper or a famous singer, if you honestly think he does not cheat, you are out of your mind because women are constantly throwing themselves at this person. Now, if it comes to somebody like you, like if somebody told me that you were a serial cheater, I would be like, that is insane. Because I mean, well, I mean, me being around you, I've always known you to be very aloof. You don't seem like you really flirt with people. You know what I'm saying? And so I wouldn't expect that out of someone like you.
Did you
Or
say did you say aloof?
yeah,
Like snobbish?
no, aloof,
Like, oh, just kind of like in another zone.
just
Okay, okay, got
at
you.
this world.
Because I don't think I'm a snob, but yeah,
No,
you're
no.
right. You're right. I think a lot. When I'm out, I am thinking a lot, and so sometimes I may not hear everything because I'm processing. My brain feeds on itself. I ain't gonna lie, but please continue. I'm listening to you.
Yeah, so I think that when you date someone like that, like an NFL player or even like some of these really really big preachers, they cheat on their wives because women constantly throw themselves at the gorilla versus the little monkey down the street. What?
The gorilla versus the little monkey down the street. So
Yeah,
so.
because you know gorillas, they're big and strong and they have power, but
Mm,
the little guy who, okay, like an NFL player, big, strong, he has power, he has money, he has all the women, and then you have the garbage man who weighs 175 pounds and he's 5'10". You know what I'm saying? And he's skinny. Nobody really pays attention to that person. I think that when you are dating someone who has a sense of power in their lives and they have the money and they have the fame and they have the this and the that, I think that you have to kind of expect for it to happen. And I mean, some people don't agree with me, but I would never date Kobe Bryant and just know that he would never cheat on me, or LeBron James, or Michael Jordan, or Chad Ochocinco, or even Tiger Woods. I mean, clearly, Tiger
mm.
Woods was found out that he cheated with 18 different, porn stars or whatever they were. So I think that it just depends on the type of man that you date. Now, like someone who isn't, out and about like that, and he's just kind of a home guy. He goes home to his wife and his children. I would expect he would probably cheat maybe once every 7 years. Or he would think about it.
I like the way you quantified that. You put a number on it. Okay, once every 7 years. Okay, okay. Um, Yeah, well, actually, there was this lady, and you and I were talking about this too. A lady who wrote an article saying that she thinks women should marry unattractive men. Or, sorry, she didn't say that. She said women should not marry attractive men or men who are more attractive than they are. She claims that if you have a man who is less attractive than you, on average, men like that tend to be more dedicated to you. They're honored to be in your presence. And then also, she said that men who tend to be more attractive tend to have higher testosterone, which makes them more attractive. That's what makes their jaws like chiseled and square, and it makes them more assertive and ambitious, which leads to more success, more wealth, more power. It gives them big muscles, which makes them attractive like that. And basically, I think she said that men who have high testosterone have I want to say 43% chance, higher chance of getting divorced than men with lower testosterone. So, so what do you think about that? I mean, do you think that she's telling women that you should settle, that you shouldn't aim for the best that you could get, or do you think that she's giving women like practical advice that should actually make sense?
Well, I think you need to be clear. Just because you're attractive doesn't mean that you're going to be successful.
Mm.
And just because you're unattractive doesn't mean that you won't be successful.
Well, I'm not talking about successful. I'm just talking about attractive means that
Well, you said more ambitious and more successful.
well,
And I,
but it's not the attraction that makes you more successful. It's the testosterone that could make you more. Now, some people have high testosterone, they're not successful at all. But high
I
testosterone,
thought my people with a lot of testosterone and they ain't shit.
well, high testosterone, what that tends to do for men is it makes you more confident, and confidence is attractive to women a lot of times, right? High testosterone makes you. It doesn't mean it's true all the time. It doesn't mean it's true all the time. But what they're kind of saying is that on average, she's talking about on average, not in every case, but on average, men with higher testosterone just tend to be more attractive. So if you have a million women who date a million men, and then the men with higher testosterone on average will have a higher chances of getting a divorce, higher chance of committing infidelity, things like that. So when you hear that kind of advice, it makes me wonder if she's telling women, if she's giving women advice that's good, practical advice, like, look, on average, not all the time, but it's like telling somebody wear your seatbelt when you get in the car. On average, you're going to be safer. But people get killed in car crashes wearing their seatbelt, right?
Hmm.
But wearing a seatbelt, on average, should make you safer, right? So I think she's kind of saying, like, put on your seatbelt. If you get married, be cautious. Like, if you pick that man who is the absolute best looking man you could get, you might be walking into a bad situation. Or
Well,
the richest man or the most powerful man, that you might be better off dating being with an average man. What do you think?
well, I think that anytime that you focus solely on someone's looks, just because they look good doesn't mean that they're good for you. And I think that that's something that we've been taught just throughout life. Just because somebody looks nice or has muscles or whatever, that doesn't mean that that person's going to treat you good. I think that it's just about who loves you. And I mean, sometimes a very attractive man can love you and only want to be with you. It's going to be very hard for him, but more than likely, if he's that damn ambitious, I guess then he will only want to be with his wife, and he
Mm.
will make it his business to only be with his wife. I guess it just, I don't know. I think it depends on how you look at it, because really, if you marry an unattractive man, that doesn't mean that you're settling, because I've dated men who weren't that attractive, but there was something sexy or attractive about them that I really, really liked. So I think that if you are going to date someone who isn't as attractive, as long as there's something about them that you absolutely love and you can't get enough of, then that should be all that matters. I don't think that that's settling, because you're still making yourself happy at the end of the day. Now, if this person is just a slob and they smell bad and you see all the reasons why nobody else would want them, then I think that you're settling. But if you're with someone who may not, okay, like you, some people would say, I mean, you're my dad, so I think that you're the cutest little thing I've ever seen. But some people would say that you're not that attractive, but you make women happy. There's something about you and the women that you date, you make them happy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So I don't necessarily think that they're settling for less. I think they're settling for what makes them happy.
Mm.
And so the same case with any other woman who would marry a man who's not that attractive.
Well, I think that what I hear you saying and what I agree with is that who you pick, the situation you choose to be in, it's not just about who they are, it's also about what they do, right? Um, and in a way, you can compare it to like picking a job, right? If you just pick the job that pays you the most money, then you're probably going to pick the wrong job because you're not factoring in all the other things that come with picking a job, right? What else can there be? There can be the benefits of the job. A high paying job with no benefits is not as good as a high paying job with benefits, right? The hours, what you're going to be doing every day, how the company treats you, where's the location of the company, how long is the commute to work. I mean, a smart person is going to look at a whole range of factors and not just say, oh, this job pays the most money, so that's the job I want, right? So it seems like, when you're picking a partner, um, you want to look not just look at a whole range of factors, but you have to know yourself well enough to know which trade-offs you're willing to make, right? So if
Hmm.
I'm picking a job, I really need to do some self-reflection and get away from worship and money and ask myself what really matters to me, what makes me happy. And I might be like, you know what, I really liked when I was 23 and I worked at that pizza place because I got free pizza and I was able to work at night, and where I could be at school all day long, right? And I could spend more time with my children, right? So if I do that, then I'm able to identify what I'm looking for in a job rather than just somebody being able to come up and offer me a little more money and get me to pick a job that's going to ruin my life or stress me out, right? Or drive me crazy. And some people don't think that way. Some people will pick a job just like picking a partner. Some people will pick a job based on just the prestige of it. Like, for example, I know a lot of doctors and lawyers like that actually who hate medicine. They hate like blood. They hate the hours. They hate the stress. They hate the bureaucracy of the medical profession. But they like being able to go and tell people, I'm a doctor. But I'm like, well, okay, that's nice. So you're really doing this for other people then. You other people get the satisfaction of knowing that you're a doctor. You get the
You're
pride
doing
of,
it for the look
of
of it.
what you say?
You're doing it for the look of it.
Right, right. But everything else, when nobody's around and it's just you and your life, you're not happy with what you see. That
The
might,
same thing. The same thing with if you only date someone who looks good.
yeah,
If you only date an attract, if you well, I'm not no. If you only date someone because they look good, you
yeah,
could be going through that exact same thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's not all the time, but in a lot of cases, I've seen that.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've seen a lot of people deal with absolute hell from people because because they wanted to be with the person that everybody wanted. Sometimes people, um, in relationship situations, they get what they want, and they find that there's what they call. Have I ever told you about something called the winner's curse? The winner's
No.
curse, it comes from economics. The winner's curse is when you're in a competition and you want to win so bad that you give everything to win, and then when you finally get the prize, you realize that you gave up more than you got. For example, if you and another person are bidding on a car that I'm selling and they bid 10,000, you bid 15, they bid 20, you bid 25, they bid 30, you bid, so it keeps going, going, going. And let's say it's a Toyota Corolla and you finally win and you bid $80,000 for a car that's worth 25,000. You won, so you get the pride of knowing that you won, but you have the winner's curse because you just did something stupid. You just spent $85,000 for a $25,000 car. Well, sometimes I think people have the winner's curse in their relationships. I think about when I was in college when I knew guys who were like on the basketball team. Every girl wanted them. These girls, I mean, they would just be fighting and clawing and just competing, doing all kinds of ridiculous stuff, humiliating themselves to get to be with this dude. So finally, one girl would win. That girl would be the girlfriend or the wife or whatever, and I would be thinking, man, like she got him, but she really didn't win because I
Yes, so
noticed.
you did.
Yeah, I'd be thinking like I'd be like, man, I know this guy. This guy, first of all, this guy is a cheater. He's always gonna cheat on her and stress her out. He probably got 50,000 STDs because he slept with probably 400 or 500 women. He so And then on top of that, he can't. One guy, I remember thinking he can't even read. So if he ever can't play basketball anymore, she gonna have a broke husband who can't read with 20 STDs. Like that does
And you
not
see where he's
seem.
at.
What do you say?
And you see where he's at.
Where he's well, the
I
guy.
know he's talking about.
Yeah, but we ain't gotta say his name. Um, but so I just think that overall, it's like I think it's a matter of just being smart. And so I think going back to the point we started talking about in the beginning about the cheating thing, um, my thought always is like people ask me like, should a woman stay with a man who cheats or whatever? I don't think you can't answer that question because there's so many factors, so many things depend. I don't really tell people what they should do. There's no like hard fast rule like, oh, you should never tolerate this or you should always overlook that. It's more like are you ready for the trade-off? You know, so let's say you've been married for 25 years, you got a life built around this person, you got children in the house, and you find out they cheated. Do you get a divorce or do you not? Well, whatever you do, you have to think to yourself, okay, I'm gonna get the satisfaction of knowing that I taught this person a lesson, let them know that I won't tolerate it, and I'm gonna bounce. I'm out. But then there is the trade-off. Everything I built with this family, is gone. The children may not be happy. I may have to go out and start dating again at the age of 50 or whatever. And maybe I don't want to do that. Like, and again, I'm not saying that it's a decision. Some people do. They think about all that and they say, you know what, I still want to do it. I still want the divorce. But a smart person is not going to let you punk them into making a decision that is going to be hurtful to them. So what I always say is never, if you're in a relationship and you're making those hard choices, because most relationships involve hard choices you have to make. Don't take advice from people who are talking just based on theory or people who are outside the relationship. People talking on theory are always going to talk shit. They're always going to be like, oh, girl, I would never put up with that. Oh, I would never let her. Or, man, oh, she did what? Oh, no, she got to go. No, people will say that they would do one thing, but then they get in that same situation, they do something totally different. And you, even if you ask them about it, but you'd be like, well, you always said that if he cheated, you would do blah blah blah. And they'd be like, yeah, but it was different this time. It was different. It's always different for them. And that's it. So the point is that there's a difference between what you say you're gonna do and what you actually do. So I would not, if I'm trying to manage a marriage, I only get advice from people who are in a healthy marriage, who know how to make it work, who know the sacrifices. You don't get advice from people who've been divorced. I mean, maybe a little bit, but not much. And you definitely don't want to get advice from people who haven't been married yet because they don't really know what it takes. They know what it takes in theory, but they don't know what it takes in practice. And that's a whole different reality. So,
Well, I
go
think
ahead.
you get your advice from people in situations that you want to be in. If you want to stay in your healthy marriage, if you want to continue to have a healthy marriage, then you want to talk to people who have a healthy marriage. If you don't care about keeping your marriage, then you want to talk to somebody who's divorced. If you want to be single again, then you talk to somebody who's single. So,
I think that's the best advice ever, and I think that's a good way for us to finish off our conversation. That was right on point. You're absolutely correct. Don't talk to people who are where you're at or where you've been. Talk to people who are in the place where you think you're going, and that's probably the best way to approach almost any problem in the world. I think. What do you think?
yeah, I got it spot on.
All right, cool. Well, it was great talking to you, Treese. Love you,
It was
kiddo.
good talking to you too. Guys, go visit my YouTube channel, Naturally Trees, NaturallyTriece. I have some beautiful and fabulous treats for you fabulous, beautiful, and intelligent ladies out there. So if you're interested, then please go take a look.
All right, Naturally Treese. It's a nice YouTube channel. I love it. Excellent makeup tutorials. Some of your stuff gets a lot of views. I'm impressed. I need to start
Yeah.
doing makeup. Maybe I can get people to pay attention to me like that, huh?
Yeah.
No, I can't mess with no makeup. The only time I wear makeup is every now and then when I go on TV. They'll put makeup on me, and I tell you, when I wear it, I just feel so beautiful after they put it on. I'm playing. I'm being silly. No, but it does change things. It's very different. I mean, I'll wear it and I'll be like, okay, now I see why people wear this stuff. But you ain't gonna see me wearing makeup every day. I'm not that dude. So, all right. Well, it's good talking to you, Treese. And you have a good day. Okay.
Okay, guess I can eat too.
All right, everybody. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World, and this is my daughter Patrice. You should go to her YouTube channel at Naturally Trees. She has a lot of really good stuff on her channel. And until we meet again, please stay strong, be blessed, and be educated. We are gone. Peace.